Hey designer, Alex here, welcome to the channel, and in today's video we're going to discuss my design system, where it is at the moment, and I'm going to answer some of you guys' questions. So let's get started. As some of you know, I'm going to create the biggest design system for Adobe XD ever made. It's going to include everything you can possibly need to create beautiful and functioning projects. So in this video, I'm going to just update you where I am at the moment and where we are going to be in about a month or 2 months time. So here is how it's looking like now, and this, if you watched the previous video, this is where we left off the previous time, but I still added more components than what I showed you the previous time, and I also added some blobs and some logos right here and some other components. Next, I also added these flowcharts, which are not finished at the moment, but they're going to be website and mobile flowcharts as well. Next up, we have 15 different categories for these templates at the bottom, and we have them in 2 sizes. So we have desktop, which is large, and we have tablet, which is medium. What we are still lacking at the moment is mobile, which is going to be small, and it's going to be right here. So if I zoom in just a little bit, just to show you how all of these look like. So as I said, 15 different categories, and you're going to be able to simply drag and drop them onto page. Make sure to watch my previous video, and I'm going to create more videos in the future and in the coming months and weeks, so you can watch those as well, just to see how it looks like and how it's going to work. So you can see all kinds of different categories. So team, call to action, we have pricing, we have shop, contact forms, we have regular forms, we have a portfolio, we have content grids, we have image grids, all of these things, and shop, for example, right here, and all of those adapted to tablet sizes as well, as you can see right here. So the idea behind this design system is you can come right here when you get this file and click publish as a library. When you publish your document as a library, then your teammates, your clients, your developers will be able to access this document and simply pull off styles, pull off components, pull off fonts and font sizes, grids, and all of these things right directly from this particular file. When you share this file, you can share it for developers particularly and separately, which I'm going to explain in the course, which is going to come with this design system a bit later when it launches. And then you can simply share with your developers ready what you have created using this design system. As I said, it's going to have 3 different sizes. So once again, if you didn't watch the previous video, all of these are atoms and molecules, and using these atoms and molecules, I went ahead and created all of these templates right here at the bottom, and I'm going to create all of these flowcharts as well. So make sure to stay tuned. This is still not finished. It's going to take me about a month or 2 months, something like that. So in total, like 6 months in progress is going to take. It's going to be on the 8-pixel grid, so everything is going to snap to that grid perfectly. And make sure to follow up to the channel just to get updates about where I am at the moment and where I am with the creation as well as the launching of this design system. Now let me go ahead and answer some questions you guys had. If you have questions and you would like me to answer, make sure to post them down in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer as soon as possible. First question comes from Conrad. He asks, is it possible that you will do an episode on how to prototype in Adobe XD, animate transition, and so on? Thanks for sharing. Thank you for watching, Conrad. So just make sure to watch my playlist, Adobe XD tutorials. In that playlist, I have many different videos about the topic you are mentioning here. Ahmed wants to know, I'm learning for your courses. We hope to see advanced course about fitness or marathon, something new, advanced. So Ahmed, I'm not doing all of those niche courses. When I'm creating a course, I'm creating it for everybody basically. So the whole point of a course is to pick up techniques and tips from that course and then apply it to your own niche. So what I mean by that, if you're creating these fitness or marathon websites, you can simply take those advices from the course and apply them not just to those niches, but for example to sports, restaurants, baby, cars, gadgets, to whatever you are doing. You can apply those tips from that particular course. So creating a specific course is not really worth it, my time or the money invested and gained from that particular course, because I will have to target designers who specifically design those websites and in those niches using Adobe XD. So I hope you understand, and just make sure to pay attention to the course itself, pick up things from the course and then apply those tips to your own niche. Antonio wants to know where can we publish our UI UX designs and where to find a job internship without any experience. If we publish our works to Behance, how to make nice presentation of our work. So you pretty much answered your own question right there. So when you are creating and you're just getting started, make sure to publish your work and then make sure to publish it on as many different places as possible. What I mean by that is try, because you don't know who is your target audience at this point because you're just getting started. So try to post everywhere and then see what you really like and where you want your career to take place. Because when you're just getting started, you don't have any work, make sure to post on all of those websites. Both Behance and Dribbble have jobs section, so make sure to create your portfolio, make sure to create nice presentation. And you asked about how to make a nice presentation of our work. Simply look what others are doing and then try to copy their styles. Majority of presentations have some devices, so your viewers know what this is. Is it a mobile website? Is it a desktop website? Is it a mobile app for Android, for iOS? What it is, make sure to use those mockups in perspective. Use Angle plugin for Adobe XD, and Angle mockups are great. I also have a video about that. Make sure to check it out on my channel, and I will also link it down below so you can check it out easily like that. So use all of these things, all of those approaches to make a great presentation. When you are creating your first project, make sure to try to solve a problem, see what others are creating, and then try to come up with a problem of your own. It's fine because this is your project. This is just a testing phase for you as a designer, for your learning purposes, but make sure to be honest and say that this is a personal project. Clients are going to appreciate it because you're honest, and then they're going to easily understand that you did this for yourself. But don't just make a pretty design, try to solve a problem and then present it in a nice way on Behance, on Dribbble, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, wherever you want to post. So Jan wants to know, so I don't know what should I design, like what topic about. I also doubt my creativity, so if you can tell me how I can practice every day. So what you like. I don't know you, you don't know me, so I really like cars, for example. I like technology, so I would start there. I would recreate websites about, for example, I don't know, some devices like Samsung or Apple or whatever. I would recreate designs from those websites in my sort of own way. Maybe I would not use black color, maybe I would use white color as a background or something like that. So what you like and what are your interests, turn those into designs. Other people like to watch movies, some people like to play games, some people like outdoor sports and recreation. Whatever you are doing, whatever you like, try to put that into a design. Make sure to solve a problem like the previous tip I gave. Make sure to try and solve a problem about whatever you do, and then practice, because practice really does make it perfect. So you have to practice every single day about whatever you are creating, and then it's going to come to you over time. But just start with whatever you like. It doesn't really matter. Just start, create nice looking presentation and simply post it like I told in the previous tip. Next up we have Moxie, which is one of my regular viewers. Hey Moxie. So I have a problem with majority of works on Behance that I like are on Russian or Ukrainian language. It's hard to translate them because it's an image actually. So I have to deal with various tools to scan a text from image and then to translate in order to understand the whole process. Pretty annoying. I feel you, I was like that when I first got started because all of my favorite works were in Russian and Ukrainian as well, and especially in French, because a lot of great French designers are out there, and if you don't understand French then you are stuck. But what I found works for me, and maybe it will work for you, simply try to understand a story from the images they are providing. So what I mean by that is, if the images are of people, try to come up in your head about a story they are trying to tell through that presentation. So is it a doctor's office? So maybe they are trying to show you the appointment. Try to read the icons they are using and try to understand what they are trying to tell you, because at the end of the day, it's all about composition, it's all about colors, it's all about styles, it's all about imagery and how they use imagery in that particular presentation and why you like it, why it caught your eye. So try to do that. Try to understand what they are saying through what they are showing. So don't waste your time about all of those translation tools and stuff like that. The next thing you can do is simply, if you're using Google Chrome, right click, translate to English. So it's going to translate all of the text from that presentation to English. So if they have text inside, then from that translated text you're going to gather information about what they are saying and what they are trying to show. So that's my tip. Just explore through the medium of seeing and through the medium of looking at the presentation, and don't just try to translate all of the text, because at the end of the day it doesn't really matter, because you're not going to try to get inspired about what they are trying to solve, but the design and how the design looks like overall. And the final question is from Uri. Hi Uri, I know you like my live streams. So the problem with me and the rest of upcoming designers is that our skills are not that much good to work with big companies. That's why we started a freelancing career with small companies, which pay less. Well, obviously you have to start somewhere. Everybody started somewhere. So the whole point here is try with small projects, try with personal projects like I mentioned in one of the previous comments, and then post all of that work to Behance, to Dribbble, to all of these websites. And then when clients come, when you get to work, when you start working, you can reference that portfolio and the work you already created to those particular clients, and then you can command a higher price. I know it's not perhaps clear to you at this stage of your career, but being a freelancer can earn you like X amount of money more than if you're working for an agency. Even those big companies like Google and Microsoft, they are simply paying you one sum of money, but as a freelancer you can earn a lot more money, because you are the one who is commanding what you want to do from your career. You are the one who is commanding the clients, so which clients I want to work with, at which stage of their project, about the particular project and all of those things. And you are the one who is commanding the work hours. So you can work, for example, 3 hours today, 3 hours tomorrow, and then 6 hours the next day. So from all of these things you can deduct that you are going to earn a lot more money as a freelancer than working for all of these big tech companies. I get it. A lot of people really want to work for these big companies, and that's completely fine. I truly recommend that every single designer out there works both in-house in an agency and as a freelancer, and then decides for themselves what's best for themselves. So start small, and then when you build up, when you create some experience, when you create some projects, when you upload to your portfolio, clients are going to come either way. So you're going to get bigger and bigger clients, bigger and bigger projects who are going to take you more and more time, but in return you're going to charge more and more money over time. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for all the questions, and I really look forward to hear your thoughts about the design system. If you have any other questions, leave them down below. Make sure to like this video, make sure to subscribe, make sure to check out all the playlists I have on my channel, and also check out the videos I have linked down below for all of you that ask. Thank you so much for watching one more time, and until next time, take care.